Washington, Kayleigh McEnany stepped on the podium in the White House briefing room on Friday, 417 days since a press secretary for President Trump last held a news briefing, with a promise to the sparse group of journalists allowed in the room under the current social distancing guidelines. "I will never lie to you, you have my word on that," she said. Ms. McEnany, the president's fourth press secretary, found that vow almost immediately tested. Discussing the sexual harassment accusation by a former staff member against Joseph R. Biden Jr., the president's likely general election opponent, she said the president had always told the truth on these issues, ignoring Mr. Trump's evasions and misrepresentations in responding to dozens of accusations against him. She claimed it was unfair to bring up issues from 4 years ago that were asked and answered. In reality, a new accusation of rape was raised against the president as recently as last year. In a reference to the special counsel Robert S. Mueller III, she claimed that his investigation of Mr. Trump ended with $40 million of taxpayer money being lost in the complete and total exoneration of President Trump. In fact, the cost of the report was about $32 million, according to the Justice Department, and its conclusion was not a total exoneration of the president. She defended Michael T. Flynn, the former national security advisor who pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI, whom the president is trying to rehabilitate, by misquoting and mischaracterizing newly released notes showing the way FI officials debated how to deal with Mr. Flynn and figure out the goals of an interview. Ms. McEnany claimed one of the notes said, quote, "We need to get Flynn to lie, quote, and get him fired." In fact, the note said, "What's our goal? Truth, admission, or to get him to lie, so we can prosecute him or get him fired?" And she came prepared with a notebook full of talking points, referring to it as she reiterated Mr. Trump's blame-defecting attacks on China and the World Health Organization for allegedly contributing to the worldwide spread of the coronavirus. Overall, Ms. McEnany's confident performance was less combative than those of one of her predecessors, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And her first go-round, while delivering its own share of falsehoods, did not create the same kind of disastrous first impression that Sean Spicer, the president's first White House press secretary, did when he claimed, falsely, that Mr. Trump's inauguration crowd was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe. It also made her more accessible than her immediate predecessor, Stephanie Grisham, who finished her brief tenure never having once briefed the news media. By Ms. McEnany's own definition of what she said she was there to do for the president, she was a success.